Yeah, exactly. It's super exciting, the wine culture in Asia in general, and in China. I mean, the I spent quite a bit of time in. It's interesting, like the perception of China, for example, in for a lot of European people, is that only cities like Shanghai, Beijing, maybe Guangzhou uh,
Yeah,
in the south drink wine, but I go quite a bit to second or third tier country. China is divided with
yeah,
different tier. So you have the big cities, the three big cities as tier one, and then after you trickle down to secondary city that sometimes have 20 million people. So it's like Chongqing.
exactly.
So that's crazy. But some places like Wenzhou have a strong, very strong wine culture, maybe even more than in Shanghai or in Beijing,
Wow.
and with a lot of Chinese from the city traveling backward and forward, and yeah, so it's very exciting to see the appeal of wine, especially French wine, especially
The
wine from
Bordeaux wine.
Bordeaux. Also, Burgundy is doing very well right now. But wine from Bordeaux, wine from Margaux is super popular in these
Hmm.
places, and Dauzac is doing pretty well.
Yeah, I can see that. It's really interesting that in the last few decades this trend started, because I think before that it wasn't really a Bordeaux wine culture present in China, but in the last decade it has been growing very fast. What do you think? What is the reason for this?
I think when Chinese people, so the Chinese people who drink wine are usually entrepreneur, very successful,
Hmm.
hardworking, like people I have the strongest respect, and they build empire, they build a network, they've been trading a lot, and again, very successful. And for them, they're not necessarily looking for the small gem from the small
Hmm.
producer. Those are more like Shanghai geeks. But
I
these
see.
big entrepreneur, they want to reflect the success with what they drink. So I think one of the first like iconic wine that made it pretty big in Asia or in China was Chateau Lafite, and
Mm.
again because of the prestige of the winery, and these successful Chinese entrepreneurs were very keen to drink just the best, and for them, Bordeaux, even maybe more than Burgundy at the time. Although again, Burgundy
Mm.
is catching up very quickly these days, but at the time, Bordeaux is big, big estate with big names, big brands, long heritage, and I think that they wanted the cachet of this prestigious winery, and they also wanted to buy a bit of this European heritage. Obviously,
I see.
China has an amazing culture, amazing heritage with long, long, long culture. But it's cool in China to know a bit about European culture, and for that, I think the again this prestigious big label, big name from Bordeaux was very appealing to them.
Okay, okay, that explains the my second question. I saw a lot of statistics on the Chinese wine imports, and it's pretty interesting, which is not really very often can see this that higher priced wines are imported more than the lower priced. So it's this really explains it that they are looking at these wines as a prestigious and cultural experience.
Yeah, and again, except a few places like this city, Wenzhou, 3 hours south of Shanghai by train,
Mm.
um, there's not very a strong culture of hey, it's 5 p.m. I'm off work, back at home. Let's pop a bottle of wine and let's have some wine. That's
Mm.
not very the big trend, and the trend is more to gather with some friends who have money, who loves wine, and to again open some nice bottle of wine. And in that case, I think it follow kind of a general trend in the world, meaning drink less but better. And for that
Yeah.
instance, they used to have tons of so wine they call OEM. And OEM
Mm.
was basically you took a wine from European Union, so VCE, Vin de la Communauté Européenne, put a fun label, a nice label, and try to sell it and move containers of that. And that trend is slowing down. And the better trend is to focus on, again, if I talk about Bordeaux, on brands like, again, like Dauzac, classified growth, long heritage, a
Yeah.
long history, and those are the wine that right now people are seeking in China.
That's great, and I think this is a very positive trend, which we can also see in not just in China or Asia, but in all over the world, as you mentioned, that drink less but drink better wines. I think this is the right way. So China really started in the right direction with the wine culture, focusing on special occasions, special wines, and really trying to understand the culture behind it, which is, I think, a great example for countries that are getting into the wine industry, the wine culture. Thanks for watching this video. You can watch the full podcast episode by clicking here, or watch another interesting video by clicking here. Let's continue the discussion in the comment section and see you in the next one.